In January, we gave you a rundown of movies coming out here in 2023, but as it turns out, there's a lot more movies. All right, so these dates are subject to change. Please check your local listings, but let's get into it. First up, Cocaine Bear hits theaters on February 24th. That's right, there's a film called Cocaine Bear. In the film, a 500-pound black bear consumes a bunch of cocaine and goes on a drug-fueled rampage. This is a real movie. Someone wrote this as a script, pitched it, and it got made. It's directed by Elizabeth Banks, starring Kerry Russell, character actress Margot Martindale, and the late, great Ray Liotta. And this may be his final film appearance. So just marinate on that for a moment. So I saw the trailer for this movie, and if you want a film where a CGI bear eats a bunch of cocaine and goes on a murder spree, this is your movie. It looks ridiculous. I don't know what they're going for here. Maybe it'll be like a cult classic, or maybe it'll just be terrible. So it looks like one of those trailers that's like a parody of itself, like a parody trailer in a movie about how ridiculous movies are. But who knows? It'll probably win the Oscar for like best performance by a CGI bear. Next up in March, we have 65, opening on March 17th. This film is produced by Sam Raimi and comes to us from the writer of The Quiet Place. Stars Adam Driver as an astronaut who crash lands on a mysterious planet, only to discover he's not alone. As it turns out, and this is not a spoiler because it's in the trailer, he's actually crash landed on Earth 65 million years ago. So Adam Driver traveling back in time, getting chased by CGI dinosaurs. To me, this has a real like Planet of the Apes type vibe to it. I know that there was a Twilight Zone episode with a very similar premise years ago. So it has this old-fashioned sci-fi type plot. Adam Driver, adventure, could be interesting. On March 24th, we have the new feature from director Zach Braff, A Good Person. Florence Pugh stars as Allison, a young woman who has everything going for her, a fiancé, a career, family, friends, but her world gets turned upside down when she suffers a horrible tragedy, leaving her with an opioid addiction and unresolved grief. She befriends her would-be father-in-law, Morgan Freeman, and starts to put her life back together. Now, this is one of those movies coming out this year that isn't part of some huge mega franchise, and it's getting a theatrical release. Maybe people will come out for this one. I don't know. It'll probably do better on streaming, but it's just nice to see something different out there. Then in April, we've got Super Mario Bros., the animated feature based on the popular Nintendo video game. Mario and Luigi navigate a labyrinth to save a princess. Now, back in 1993, there was a live-action Super Mario Bros. That starred Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo. The movie was not well received by fans or critics. It did so poorly that Nintendo wouldn't let anyone touch the property for years. So I think that going animated is definitely the right direction for this film. Really fits the material, and this could be the movie that Mario fans have been waiting for 30 years. Super Mario Bros. Is set to release on April 7th. On April 14th, we have Renfield, a new comedic take on the story of Renfield and his master Dracula, starring Nicholas Hoult and Nicolas Cage. Hoult plays Renfield, the tortured servant of Dracula, who after centuries of servitude and being forced to procure his master's prey, decides he wants to break away and have a life. In the film, Dracula has bestowed certain powers onto Renfield, so now we have a super-powered Renfield doing some superhero type stuff. And Nicolas Cage as Dracula, he's just chewing the hell out of the scenery. It looks completely bonkers. It's rated R, lots of blood and violence. Go figure. It's a vampire movie. It's great to see Nicolas Cage in real movies again after a long stint in rather obscure direct-to-VOD type stuff. I also think it's great to see him let off the chain. This is going to be pure Cage. Should be a lot of fun. On May 19th, the 10th Fast and Furious film will crash into theaters. They're calling this one Fast X. It stars Vin Diesel, Charlize Theron, Helen Mirren, Jason Momoa, Brie Larson, and Rita Moreno. Just saying that sounds surreal. The first Fast and Furious movie came out more than 20 years ago. It's pretty incredible that this saga is still ongoing. Fast cars, explosions, people punching people, outlandish stunts that involve cars flying off of things, and of course, it's all about family. Expected to arrive in theaters on May 26th, The Machine. Bert faces a family crisis With the arrival of his estranged father, played by Mark Hamill, the dad's past has caught up with them when they are kidnapped by Russian gangsters seeking revenge against Hamill for crimes he committed 20 years ago while on a drunken bender in Russia. It sounds intriguing. Love seeing Mark Hamill back on the big screen again. Finally arriving in theaters June 16th, The Flash. There's been a lot of conjecture surrounding this film, which could be a whole show in and of itself, but let me just talk about the plot of the movie first. So in this movie, Barry Allen / The Flash runs so fast he creates a glitch in time and he crosses into other dimensions and has to seek help from the Batman. Now, this is actually based loosely on a comic book called Flashpoint, which came out back in, I think, 2011. The Flash TV show also used this, and there's a really good animated film called Flashpoint Paradox that you should check out if you're a Flash fan. The film stars Ezra Miller. Miller has been in the news a lot lately, which is where a lot of the conjecture has come from. Like I said, not going to go into it. That's a whole different show. The Flash has been in development forever, roughly ever since Ezra Miller was cast for the role in the DC Universe. A number of writers and directors have been attached and then unattached, left the project, joined the project. Finally, Andy Muschietti, who directed the It films, was brought on to helm the film and bring it in for a landing. The movie was finished, but since the controversy with Miller's hit, the project kind of went into limbo. So DC / Warner Brothers / Discovery has finally decided to release it, and we'll see how fans react. This is a movie fans of the franchise have wanted to see for a long time. Ben Affleck is back as Bruce Wayne / Batman, and we're also getting Michael Keaton back as an alternate universe Batman. How great is that? Are you glad this is finally coming out? What are your feelings on this? Let me know. Coming to Netflix June 16th, Chris Hemsworth will reprise his role as Tyler Rake in Extraction 2. Sam Hargrove will return as director. Now, the first Extraction was just a slam-bang action thrill ride, lots of fun. We reviewed it on the show back in 2020. I said then that I thought Netflix was looking for an action franchise, and here we are. If you're an action fan, definitely check out Extraction, and that'll prepare you for Extraction 2. Also on June 16th, the new animated feature from Disney, Elemental. Here's the premise. In a city where fire, water, land, and air residents live together, a fiery young woman and a go-with-the-flow guy discover something elemental, how much they actually have in common. I haven't seen much on this one, but can Disney do it again with another animated feature? We'll see. In August, we have Disney's The Haunted Mansion, based on the popular theme park attraction. In this film, a single mom named Gabby hires a tour guide, a psychic, a priest, and a historian to help exorcise her newly purchased mansion after discovering it is inhabited by ghosts. It's a star-studded cast: Rosario Dawson, Jamie Lee Curtis, Winona Ryder, Owen Wilson, Jared Leto, Lakeith Stanfield, Tiffany Haddish, and Danny DeVito, among others. Set for release August 11th. Moving into the fall, on October 6th, Sony brings us another Spider-Man villain with Kraven the Hunter. In the movie, Russian immigrant Sergei Kravenov is on a mission to prove that he's the greatest hunter in the world. Starring Aaron Taylor-Johnson and Russell Crowe. Now, Sony has had mixed success with these films so far. Venom was a big hit. The sequel also did well. And then Morbius didn't do so well. And now we got Kraven the Hunter. Are you excited for this? Did you like the previous films? Let me know. And for this next one, we don't have a release date, but Napoleon is slated for release in 2023 on Apple TV. It stars Joaquin Phoenix in the titular role. Directed by Ridley Scott, Napoleon is the historical drama about the French leader's rise to power. I thought this was interesting just because it's Ridley Scott, who's made some incredible films. His filmography is legendary, and he's still making epics at the age of 86. Amazing. So those are some more films coming out in 2023. As I mentioned, these dates are all subject to change, so please check your local listings. It looks like an exciting year. Everything from the ridiculous to the sublime.